A little water here. All right, and we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. Right now, you see Colombia, the beautiful Colombia, Medellin in the background. It's a little bit of a rainy day right now. Put this up on the screen. But I want to wish you guys, hope all is well doing it in your life. Right now, it's a little bit. It's not the rainy season out here, but it's been raining a lot out here in Medellin, Colombia. So what you see behind me is the background. All right. Well, Colombia, of course, Medellin in the background, and we're going to discuss. I wanted to touch up on this subject because it's going out around right now. The whole fresh and fit. What's going on, Jeffrey Mullet? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And I'm gonna be doing a more detailed video with my guy QB Willie B on Friday at 5 o'clock because we actually did a video about these guys, Myron Gaines and the other brothers' names, Fresh. We had a video about these guys like 6-7 months ago, bro, and just kind of exposing who they really were. Now, I want to say this real quick. I had somebody say, "Hey, man, if you cover the topic, you never know what can happen in the future. You guys might do a collab." And I told him, as I said, it is like a low-key civil war between passport bros and dating coaches, number one. Dating coaches, PUA coaches, they will never, ever do any type of collaboration unless it's somewhat of a debate, because the thing about passport bros, okay, guys, is the fact that you're not going to need any of their services if you start traveling the world. You're just not going to need any of their fictitious services, in my opinion, because things are very different overseas. Depending on what country you go to, a lot of these countries are very, I'm going to say, machismo. And as far as attracting women, that might be one of the easiest things that you can accomplish when you travel overseas, especially when you're from the West, whether that be America or whether that be anywhere in Europe, Western Europe, Germany, whatever. You're going to definitely have somewhat of an edge coming from what they consider to be a first-class, world-class country, okay? So you're not going to need any of their fictitious services. So between passport bros and dating coaches, we're never going to probably ever get along, because it's as simple as when you get your passport, you're going to pretty much stop listening to them, excommunicate them. You're not going to really rock with them no more like that. Yeah, they did throw some shots at the. They always throw some shots at the passport bros. The problem with the passport bros, they try to make everything inclusive of every man that travels. When men have different agendas when they travel the world, they just assume because you go to certain countries, and a lot of guys like certain countries like Brazil and like Colombia, because there are a lot of beautiful women here. All right, there are a lot of beautiful women here. But I've been kind of keeping up a little bit. I wanted to make sure that a lot of the facts were out there. I saw all the little things that was going on with Fresh and Fit. And, some of the stuff definitely could have been avoided. They definitely handled things a little wrong, in my opinion. But at the same time, they got more exposure. So their platform should actually grow from this, in my opinion. But the thing is, man, I saw a lot of the mistakes they made, and it's so funny because we were showing receipts on these guys months ago. We still got more receipts, and we try to communicate with them. Hey, man, just keep passport bros names out your mouths. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no issues. We got no beef. You guys stay over there. We're gonna stay over here. We're gonna stay traveling the world. We're gonna stay building. All right. We're gonna stay handling business. We're gonna stay building up these economies. All right. So that's where a lot of the problem lies. Is you got one group of men, all right, who I'm not going to say all of us have dated out of the dating market in America, but we see the benefit of dating internationally versus dating in the matrix, dating in the States, all right? The funny thing is, I'm listening to their explanation video a couple of days ago with a friend of mine, right? And we were just pointing out all the little inconsistencies in what they were saying. Like a lot of things they were saying in response, they try to do the politician thing and kind of cover it up or kind of smoothly go over it. But this is the one thing I'm going to say, right? If you are a dating coach, right? If you have all this game, why would you hire somebody else to approach women and bring women to your show? You're supposed to be the man with the game. You're supposed to be that guy. If you're selling courses, if you're selling consultations, you're supposed to be that guy. You don't have to hire an outside source. Now, I'm not mad at them for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're portraying yourself, right, to be this huge alpha guy that's so good with women that you can sell your services, why would you contract that out? That should be the easiest thing that you do. And truth be told, I think the whole debacle really came from women. Now, on Friday's show, we're going to go more in detail on Friday's show, right? Because we actually have a guy, a friend of QB Willie B's, who actually went to the party that they was speaking of. And from what he was telling us, he had a horrible time, right? And we're going to speak on that more in detail. I don't want to put any words in their mouth, but we're going to definitely speak on that on today's show. QB Willie B, yeah, what's going on, brother? What's good with you? What's good with you? So, like I said, we're going to talk more in detail about these guys, but I did want to just touch up on a few things. Now, I'm not going to bash these guys because I'm not going to hate on their hustle. Shout out to them. They have become very successful with their podcasts. I don't have any criticism on how they run their businesses because you run your business the way you want to run your business. I'm not even going to criticize them on how, they try to leverage their business to get women. Hey, man, that's been being done since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Since business was business, men were putting themselves in position to either attract women or leverage women by their position of being whatever you want to call it, high value, whatever it is. So that's being done. That's still going to be done to the end of time. All right. Men are going to do that. So I'm not blaming Myron on none of that. I'm not even going to speak on any personal situation or him getting a chick, pregnant or anything like that. Whatever. That's your personal business. I'm not digging on him. This is more of a very, I'm going to say, weak movement taking advantage of, excuse me, lonely men, in my opinion. The fact, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Shout out to QB Willie B with the follow super chat. Appreciate that. He says, passport over dating coaches all day long. And I do feel like, hey, man, in my opinion, they are misleading a lot of younger guys and younger generation that feel like they can gain something by listening to them when it comes to girls because they bring so many girls on the show. Where they took the L at is when the guy that worked for them or had an arrangement with them came out and exposed them and said, hey, I'm actually the guy bringing these women onto the show. Now, I will say this. Sometimes you can the devil recognizes his own when it comes to having a high aptitude, right, of being able to communicate with women, because that's all it is. No matter what, all it is how well can you communicate with women, all right? And if you're a good communicator with men, if you know how to communicate with people in general, you should be able to transfer that into being able to build relationships or however long or short with women, in my opinion, So that's something that comes with experience. I'm not going to say that you can't improve, but you can recognize when somebody else is comfortable and has a high aptitude of being able to communicate with women well and getting what they want out of women. Okay. And when I saw those guys fresh and fit, you can obviously tell they just not those guys. All right. That doesn't make them lesser of a man than anybody else. And I want us to get out of that too. I want us to get out of, oh, I'm so much better. I see it in the private Facebook group all the time. Oh, I'm so much better than this guy because I can attract a woman. It doesn't work like that in life, man. Being a man, you have certain responsibilities, okay? It's about being disciplined. It's about having integrity and morals. It's about being able to work with other men, all right? That brings you to allow being a person that's a necessity in order for a community to function, all right? That is the definition of a true alpha male. It's not about how many women you can attract, bro, okay? And as far as them selling consultations on, you're definitely not going to need any consultation from me on attracting women overseas. You just pull up. they're gonna be here for you. You know why? Because they actually need men in a lot of these countries. All right, the man is the prize, and it's very clear. All right, let me get to some of the comments. Fellas, do me a favor, hit that like button when you get a chance, man, and share it too. Appreciate that, brother. Shout out to my dude QB Willie B once again. He says Myron didn't feed the wolf. You don't feed the wolf, he eats you all day long. I definitely agree with that. Appreciate that, Willie B. Appreciate that. That's Ja King. What's good with you? Oh man, let me tell a story, guys, because I haven't did this on the YouTube channel. I did it. I'm gonna get back to the subject at hand here, but shout out to Ja. Shout out to that brother right there who's in the private Facebook group. We linked up when he got down here, right? And him and another group member, two of my BMT guys, actually saved a dude from getting drugged a few nights ago. And I want to give him a special shout out for paying attention enough, right, to help that brother, because that brother was going to get drugged that night. They pulled out the pill out the girl purse and everything. She was going to drug him. She was definitely going to drug him. The sad part about that situation is the guy still took the girl. He still walked away with the girl. So, guys, when you meet brothers overseas that's trying to look out for you, let them look out for you, man. You know, I don't even know if the guy told the guys thank you. You know, sometimes men can be so consumed with the beauty of a woman, they're not thinking straight, especially when they got that juice in their system. And when you overseas, man, you got to be very, very careful. I just had a really good meeting, and I'm going to present it to the group in a few weeks. I had a really good meeting with some guys that's getting involved with the real estate market, finance and real estate market out here. And they was telling me stories of guys getting pretty much robbed. Now, keep in mind that me, a couple other guys that, live in Medellin, we've never been drugged or robbed. It definitely helps the way you move and the way you present yourself. And also the information that you divulge to the women that you're dating. A lot of guys come out here and they want to brag and boast on what they do. And all that good stuff. You got to be very careful with that. But once again, I want to give a special shout out to my dude, Ja King, and my dude, Machiavelli, for saving that brother, right? Because believe it or not, you do have people that's died from being drugged, all right? When you get drugged out here, the biggest concern that the police have, the authorities have, is getting you to the hospital and getting that IV into your system to get that drug out of your system, bro. So they're not really concerned about you getting all your belongings back. All right. They want to make sure you're healthy, see you on that plane to go home. That's their main concern. So, guys, once again, I want to give a shout out to them. All right. And I want other guys to do that as well, man. If you live in a certain country, if you've been in DR for a while, you've been in Brazil for a while, make sure you look out for brothers, man. Tell them what's going on out there currently. Right now, a lot of stuff is going on in Medellin, Colombia. So you definitely want to be safe. All right. That's right, Bill. Big Will. He says the strong move quiet. All right. So yeah. Back to the subject at hand with the fresh and fit debacle. Like I said, I'm not gonna throw any dirt on them like that, but me and QB exposed them months ago. All right, we exposed their movement. They got more subscribers, more followers. Shout out to them. No knock on that. But we gotta be careful with this little complex that we got when, sometimes I think we just too much of an easy sell. Sometimes we just too much of a easy go, man. Now, most guys would know that these guys are woofing hot air tickets, right? You know that they're not who they portray themselves to be, all right? Most guys can easily tell that. But they're not targeting guys late 30s, 40s who know the game. They're targeting younger guys. That's the audience. More power to them. But the explanation video has so many inconsistent holes in it that you would think that they would lose at least a portion of their movement, bro. All right. Now, keep in mind that a lot of guys that travel, once they travel the world, right, and they experience women from different regions, right, that treat them nicely, that have a genuine likeness for them. Like these women actually will like you. Because they have a high value for men here in a lot of these countries. Once you experience that, it'll be extremely difficult right? It's going to be extremely difficult to go back and date in the States. I hear it all the time. And once again, shout out to Dennis Jean-Pierre. We did a video earlier today. We did a live stream. He's currently in Brazil right now. He did a video on the beach. It was his idea. It was a good idea. And the background was ridiculous. So just imagine, check out that video if you haven't checked it out. All them beautiful women, all right, that are, in shape, that don't mind serving their men, that are submissive, that cook for you. Why would you try to obtain a service to attract women that don't do that? For the most part. I'm not saying all of them, but in general, for the most part. Throw me peso. Okay, buddy. All right. Shout out to MJ Hines. Shout out to you, bro. So one thing I'm gonna say, and like I said, I really don't have a problem with Fresh. To me, Fresh, it's simple. You can kind of look at the guy and kind of size him up and say, okay, guy, whatever with you, bro. You know what I mean? The thing is, a lot of the heat is coming on to Myron, because Myron sells wolf tickets all the time, And, the things that he say, you can kind of tell that he's not, he's American, but he's just not from that certain ilk that most of us are from. You know what I'm saying? Just some of the things that he's saying and how he says it, you can kind of tell. And I think that's where they're getting a lot of heat from. Now, him going back and forth with women, trying to, whatever. Guys do stuff like that. It is what it is. Buck Travel, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Cortez Smith, what's going on, bro? Mr. Producer Man in the building. Cortez Smith says, you can look at guys and tell they are frauds. Yeah, most definitely, bro. Most definitely. Hey, bro. Byron gets the brains and Fresh is just a clown. He punches. Okay. Hey, man. Shout out to you, bro. Fit has a frat boy approach to dating. Yeah, most definitely. Marty W. We're going to talk about that one day. So, yeah, man. Like I say, we're going to have a video where we go way more into detail about the situation on Friday, because my boy QB Willie B has a lot of receipts, man. He definitely has a lot of receipts. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Myron's background. I heard that he worked for an agency, the FBI or something like that. Hey, listen, man, I'm not knocking him for that. That's your career choice. That's your career choice. I'm not tripping on that. Okay, this is a good question by, that's a hell of a name, Snuggle668. Do you mind telling us what they're doing wrong? I did not understand what's the issue, or is that, look at the, no, it's not about a certain look. All right. It's not about a certain look. Okay. It's the whole, it ain't just them. Number one, it's the whole entire dating PUA coach market in general, bro, that shows no receipts of them with women whatsoever. That's like saying you're the fastest man in the world and never racing. And the problem is that people actually buy into it, what they're saying. All right. They actually buying into what they're saying. Right. In my opinion, they're just some con men. Yeah, JM. Yeah, the audience. Come on, man. You could any guy that's a little older, I'm say even after 25, 23, can easily see that these guys are a bunch of frauds, man. They're a bunch of frauds. But I'm gonna say this, man. I've heard a lot that they were going back and forth on the pay to play issue, and I'm not going to talk on that too much, but this is the thing, man. As a man, you have the freedom to make your own decisions on what you do with your time and your resources. One of the two most important things that you have as a man. All right. And I know, bro, I just had a meeting with two guys that's worth millions. All right. Time, bro, time is super important to men that's moving a certain way. If you got the time to talk to that girl every day and court her and all that, hey, more power to you. Some guys don't have that. So you're not going to stop certain dudes from doing what they feel they want to do at a certain time to enjoy themselves, right? To relax or however they do it. That's on them. I think the comment was made that, is lame, is, sucker's game. Hey, that's a decision that a man and a woman makes and that two adults make. That's on you, however you want to handle that, all right? But I would tell you this, that most men of means, most of these high value males, they definitely see the benefit in paying directly for a service. Let's just put it that way. They definitely see that. To me, it's no debate. And I see a lot of it debate in the group. Hey, more power to you. Women gonna do that, men gonna do that. You're not gonna stop that. And I did see the post by our guy in Sperling about Houston and what Houston is doing as far as the changing the laws for sex solicitation. Listen, laws get made, laws get repealed. In New York, they legalizing it. In Houston, they making it illegal. Whatever. It is what it is. It's right. They're definitely snake oil salesman, man. It is crazy, but that's the power of the internet. That's just simply the power of the internet, man. You are able to create a following, man. I'm telling you, man. Social media is probably one of the most powerful things that has hit us in the last probably 100 years. The fact that if you have a polished statement, if you have a nice background, if you dress right, if you have your technicals right, you can almost sell anything to anybody, man. Somewhere in the world right now, it's a dude that likes to eat dirt. You can make a social community of people that like to eat flavored dirt, and it'll be 100,000 strong overnight. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hold on. Shout out to Snuggle668 once again. That's a crazy name. You being a man who travels, do you find it easier to pay for the company that you keep, and do you still not treat you like if you're a man, nonetheless, money or not? Listen, man. Like I said, once again, that's all up to that particular individual on what he wants to do. I'm just gonna leave it to you like that. Like my boy John say, just do you, man. Just do you. All right. You know what? I did hear, I saw, them having some pretty popular manosphere guests on their show. I'm not going to blame them for that. Anybody can hit you up for a show. If somebody is planning on flying you out to Miami, taking care of your rooming and board, it might give you some type of, stipend or something like that. That's just business. Most people won't turn down a free trip to Miami. So I'm not going to really knock them for that on the guests that they had, because anybody could be a guest. Would I ever go on their show? Of course not. I don't think any traveling brothers will really go on their show, and they won't allow any traveling brothers to go on their show. They won't allow any guys with passports to come on their show, because if we come on their show, we'll take their whole audience away. You know what? Mr. Buck Travel, nobody's hating on them. I'm just simply calling out some of the inconsistencies in their explanation video. Shout out to Next Recruit. All right. Once again, shout out to you, QB Willie B. Man, once again, though, check out the video I did earlier with Dennis Jean-Pierre about Rio, about Brazil. Very detailed and informative video. Also, man, like I said, we have a lot of good things happening in Medellin, Colombia right now, man. A lot of good things. Medellin is about to open up, and if you take advantage of some of the businesses that you can bring out here with your American dollar, I'm telling you guys, man, it'd be very beneficial for not only you, but your family as well. Okay. Shout out to my dude once again. He says passport roads catch a lot of shade and dry stick from a light source in the manosphere. Listen, I'm not gonna sit there. I don't watch Fresh and Fit, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's nothing that's gonna. I'm not gonna get any information from them that I need. Most of you won't get any real information from them. Going back and forth with women on a podcast, to me, it's a waste of time. You're not changing anything. It's the whole you know, I know a lot of you guys want to see women get roasted online. They look delusional, but think about it. In their minds, they're not delusional, bro. So it's a waste of time. In their mind, where they're speaking is logical to them because they're speaking off really just how they feel and emotions. So it's a waste of time, man. And those same girls he's arguing with, he's trying to sleep with. So he still has, you know, it's, I ain't gonna say it's malcontent, but he's still behind closed doors probably simping. But yeah, man, most definitely, man. What men we need to be focused on is working together and building together, communicating with each other, man. That's the main thing that we should be focused on as passport bros. All right, we have our small niche market, all right, of men traveling the world, enjoying themselves. All right, uh, we can keep pushing that out there, putting that out there, and really changing men's lives. I don't know how your life is going to change listening to Fresh and Fit argue with women on a podcast. I don't know how that's going to help you change your life. Okay, in my opinion, the information that this channel provides and the other channels like this, John Pierre and other traveling guys, would be information that you really, really can benefit out of. And it's not all about women. We try to tell you how to really leverage your American dollar so you can live fruitful life. You have more time to build relationships with the people you want to have build relationships with. All right, guys. Shout out to Silky. Y'all going in on the comment section. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, guys, once again, I just wanted to make this a quick show. We're going to do another show more in detail on Friday about the Fresh and Fit situation. Also, hey, guys, if you haven't joined the Patreon, also join the Patreon, man. That's where we can really get to the nitty gritty. A lot of these comments and questions, I really can't comment on because it's YouTube. I mean, you guys should already know that, right? So if you really want some detailed information, make sure you join the Patreon, all right? The link is in the description. Shout out to the team. Shout out to my dude Cardell. Shout out to Mickey Belly. Shout out to my dude Joaquin. And everybody, all right? Peace. We out.